For the Orthodox Zoroastrian community, Bombay is a city of rituals. High liturgies are performed daily within the most sacred precincts of fire temples. Other ceremonies, often held for community occasions, take place in public assembly halls or in any other appropriate place outside the temple. Presented here are an inter-temple ceremony, the Yasna, a liturgy of worship, and an outer ritual, the Afrinagan, a ceremony of blessings.
Shatrim Chaudiyam Drikubyo Dadadvas Tarim Yatao Bedia Taratu the Shatin Jamang Yadas Dam Ringo Shatanam Yunas Daim Shatrim Chaudiyam Drikubyo Dadadvas Tarim Yasnim Chavam Himjo Beretim Josh the Beretim Javanta Beretim.
Zoroastrians worship the Lord of Wisdom, Ahura Mazda. Ahura Mazda dwells in the spiritual world of light. He is opposed by the dark forces of evil. Ahura Mazda created the material world, which is the arena for the struggle against evil. Worship is one weapon in this struggle. Zoroastrian rituals fuse the powers of good and concentrate them in material objects. This Yasna ceremony was recorded as a teaching demonstration. The actual Yasna liturgy is performed only in Zoroastrian fire temples, which are not accessible to non-Zoroastrians. Dr. Feroz Kotwal, a Zoroastrian high priest from Bombay, India, acts as chief priest in this demonstration. Before the ceremony, we asked Dr. Kotwal what the performance of a ceremony means for a priest. He is dressed in the shawl of his office.
Now, there are priests and priests. So, I cannot tell about all priests in general. But personally, I feel something elevated. First of all, a good priest always thinks that he has the required ritual power that he has received through the performance of ceremony. Again, he is in the presence of divine powers. As soon as we perform the ceremony, in the very first chapter, we invite and dedicate ourselves and all offerings to Ahura Mazda, to archangels, angels, and all Firashtes, all divine spirits. So we feel a divine presence within the ritual precinct in which we perform the ceremony. And when we do that conscientiously, God's blessings are always there. And when you see two priests, you can immediately distinguish from their very face that this priest is a lustrous priest. He has got glory on his face. And that means that he is performing all ceremonies so well, he is acting in accordance with the tenets of Zoroastrianism. And the other priest who is a hypocrite. So you can find from the face of the priest himself.
The Yasna is celebrated in a fixed enclosure called a place of purity. It is marked by furrows or channels built into the floor. Priests stay within the fixed enclosure during the ceremony. Zoroastrians are allowed to observe from outside the furrows. The ritual area is oriented toward the south and contains 3 low stone tables. On the southernmost table is the fire. Fire is of central importance to the ritual. The fire is kept alive throughout the ceremony. The assistant priest, whose principal duty is to maintain the fire, feeds wood to the fire using a ladle. At certain points in the yasna, the assistant priest also offers the fire a special combination of frankincense and sandalwood. At the other end of the ritual area is a stone platform. The chief priest will sit or stand on the platform during the liturgy. In front of the platform is the ritual table, on which are purified utensils. On the east side of the ritual table are two crescent-shaped metal stands. Their shape suggests the crescent moon, or it suggests the horns of a bull. The bull is an animal of importance in Zoroastrianism. Laid across the top of the stands is a bundle of 21 wires called barsom. The barsom wires are held together by a date palm leaf woven into a cord. The cord is kept freshly moistened throughout the ceremony. Next to the stands is a metal saucer containing fresh goat's milk. The milk will be mixed with other ingredients to make a drink called home. Wheat bread with clarified butter is placed next to the ritual table. Other utensils on the ritual table are a mortar in which twigs are crushed to make the home drink, a shallow bowl next to the mortar containing 3 home twigs and a pomegranate twig, and 3 metal cups, one containing a home drink consecrated in a preliminary ritual. Beside the ritual table stands a large metal basin of water. Water and sacred speech are the chief agents of purification. A pestle and strainer are submerged in the water. The strainer is used as a sieve for filtering the consecrated home drink. The metal container next to the basin is used throughout the ritual for pouring water to cleanse and purify the hands. The yasna is a daily service performed in the morning. A Zoroastrian layperson will pay the priest to perform a service. The yasna begins when the chief priest, dressed in white garments, pulls the mouth veil over his face. The veil prevents any saliva from touching the ritual objects. He recites the opening invocation in the sacred language of Avesta. The phrase means, "For the pleasure of Ahura Mazda, righteousness is good." The power of these words does not lie in their meaning, but in the voicing of the sacred sounds. Such sacred speech is called mantra in the Zoroastrian tradition. Purity is achieved by the uttering of Avestan mantric sounds and the gestures of washing. The material world must be made ritually pure to accomplish the purpose of the yasna. The purpose is to bring about the holy presence of spiritual powers in this world. With the spiritual powers present, offerings can be made and blessings received. Both priests have entered the ritual area, said the opening mantra, and made offering to the consecrated fire. The gesture of washing is always necessary before approaching sacred objects. The chief priest recites a prayer of dedication to the fire. A consecrated fire is a spark of the infinite, an embodiment of righteousness, manifesting the divine light of the spiritual world, which makes life possible and maintains order. The fire table must be purified and consecrated on all sides, even the north, the direction of evil. Three prayers are repeated often in the ceremony. They praise Ahura Mazda, righteousness, and the beings worthy of worship. They are the most sacred prayers in the tradition. The recitation is not all in Avestan mantra. These parts in another language are spoken in undertone out of respect for the divine Avestan utterances. The ceremony is dedicated to a specific spiritual power and for the sake of a person, either living or dead. This dedication is said in undertone. Putting their toes and knees together in an attitude of humility and respect, the priest recite, "I praise well-thought, well-spoken, and well-done thoughts, words, and deeds. I embrace all good thoughts, good words, and good deeds. I reject all evil thoughts, evil words, and evil deeds." For the first time, the priest touches the barsom wires and recites the Zoroastrian confession of faith. "I profess myself a Mazda worshipper, a follower of Zoroaster, opposed to the demonic, and a follower of the Lord's teaching. I ascribe all things good to the Lord of wisdom." The priest and his assistant then exchange declarations. The exchange declares that the will of the Lord be done. The date palm cord around the barsom is moistened as the priest begins the recitation of the chapters of the Yasna text. The Yasna has 72 chapters. Originally, the barsom wires were twigs. The barsom wires and date palm cord represent the power of the plant kingdom, constantly enlivened by water. The two stands must be spiritually connected. The priest does this by the gesture of touching. The barsom seems to serve as a complement to the fire, as a second conduit between the material and spiritual worlds. For this reason, the priest maintains contact with the barsom throughout the ceremony. In this way, the priest draws power necessary to approach Ahura Mazda and to invite the presence of spiritual powers. Now begins the consecration and tasting of the wheat bread and the butter. The bread represents the plant kingdom, and the butter represents the animal kingdom. The priest cannot touch his lips. That would be polluting, so he must raise his veil and throw a small piece of bread into his mouth. If the priest misses the throw 3 times, the yasna is destroyed. The gesture of tasting seems to represent the acceptance of an offering by the spiritual powers. The remainder of the bread will be given to those who commissioned the yasna. This act of tasting must take place in silence, encircled with sacred prayers before and after. The next gesture is the drinking of the home. Before the priest can drink the home, it must be symbolically offered to the fire. By making contact with the barsum, he makes a second symbolic offering of the home. Home is an exhilarating drink, a powerful stimulant associated with health and immortality. The priest praises the home, saying, "Thereupon spoke Zoroaster, praise to home. Good is home and well endowed, exact and righteous in its nature, inherently good and healing, beautiful of form, and good indeed." When the priest drinks the home, he looks directly at the assistant priest. The visual contact between them fuses the powers of the mantras and the power of the home. The drinking of the home concludes with the purification of the cup and the ritual table. The table is cleansed in 4 places, including the place where the empty cup will be placed. Tying knots to make a loop is done while the priest dedicates himself to good actions and to the rejection of evil actions. The looping of the date palm cord over the horn of the stand further strengthens the contact between the barsum and its stand. What you will now see highlights a sequence of ritual gestures that take place during the recitation of 21 chapters. New home juice will be prepared during this sequence. The power of the milk seems to be activated by the initial pouring of some of it between the saucer and the cup. The moistening with milk that begins here adds the power of the animal kingdom to the barsum. Before using the mortar, the priest submerges it in water. It will be enveloped by the water's power to cleanse and create. When the priest puts his feet together, a posture of supplication, he asks that Ahura Mazda grant prosperity and immortality to those who know righteousness. The saucer containing home and pomegranate twigs, together with the milk cup, are placed in contact with the barsum. This contacting gesture organically relates the powers of the home, milk, and barsum. Through the barsum, the milk and home are offered to the spiritual world. Praises to home are recited throughout. By placing the mortar on the table, the priest now prepares for the actual pounding of the home. Expressing reverence for each element, the priest places 3 home twigs, milk, a pomegranate twig, and water into the mortar. The sieve will be used in filtering the home juice. The visual contact and the verbal exchange between the priests strengthens the ritual moment. Gestures of sound alert us to the impending pounding of the home. The ringing is a sound of victory over evil. The pounding gestures of striking also smite the forces of evil with ritual blows. The crushing of home twigs and the recitation of mantras releases the filtered essence of this life-giving home, while smiting wickedness, disease, want, and death. The blessings encircle the world. Following the cue provided by the recited mantra, the priest offers the filtered residue to the barsome, milk, water, and table. Filtering ensures that the spiritual essence of the liquids is joined together as an offering and source of blessing. Squeezing ensures that all of the essence is released. At the conclusion of this first pressing, the home is put in contact with the barsome. A portion is offered to the barsome. There now follows a second pressing of the home. This occurs during the recitation of the first hymn of Zoroaster. The 5 hymns of Zoroaster have especially strong consecrating power. At the conclusion of the second pressing of the home, the mortar is inverted and the home is symbolically offered to the fire. The inverted mortar elevates the home, and the milk saucer protects it with a cover. The priest recites, "O Mazda, proclaim to me the best things, both divine words and deeds. These indeed proclaim through good mind and righteousness. Bring to reality a progressive world according to your will." Now the priest will recite 23 chapters, including the remaining hymns of Zoroaster, with no major ritual activity. The Yasna takes about 2.5 hours to perform. About 1.5 hours of that is mantric recitation without major gestures. Untying the knots that make the loop, marks the end of the activity of consecrating the home. The final part of the yasna recapitulates the main elements of the ritual and allows the ritual's power to pass into the whole creation. The home has been uncovered to present it as an offering, and the priest has risen with barsum in hand. The priest prays the fire. I bless thee, O fire, with worship and praise, as a good, happy, and loving offering. This wish is proclaimed by a devoted one. May you burn in his house forever. After the litany to fire, the priest prepares to mix all the liquids for the final offering. The mixing of the liquids activates them. This seems to stimulate the creative powers they contain. The priest turns to face the basin of water. The waters in the basin represent all the waters of creation. The priest recites, "This do I beseech of you, O waters, lands, and plants. Grant prosperity and offspring, who will become benefactors of the world, I beseech of you." As the liquids are mixed, the offering achieves its greatest potency. The priest recites, "This libation containing home, milk, and pomegranate is offered with righteousness to thee, waters. May thou hear our yasna, O Ahura Mazda. May thou be pleased with our yasna. May thou sit near our yasna and approach us." The priests offer the mixture to the three good directions. The assistant priest cleanses his hand to be ready to receive the barsum. The priest secures the powers of the barsum and binds the powers of evil by tying as many knots as he can. Both priests praise the three most sacred mantras, the three holiest prayers that have sustained the ceremony. The priests join in a ritual handshake and begin the last act of the yasna. The priest will take the sacred home mixture out of the ritual area to a well containing fresh water. Some of the mixture will be poured into the well. The The assistant priest will go on ahead and make sure that the way is clear for the chief priest. The chief priest will leave some home mixture behind should the purity of the sacred home be violated on the way to the well. When the chief priest pours the home into the well, he will praise the health-giving waters, the good plant kingdom, and the heavenly bodies. He asks that through this yasna there may be an increase of benefit for the whole creation.
Snathaye Mehimini Zdravato, Snathaye Shurikavido, Snathaye Mazalinam Devanam, Snathaye Vishwanam Devanam, Bharevanam Sajavanam. Yatao Hamiya Tarata Shapitavam Yatavam Yatavam Asat Mehimini Nishatim Sato Mahinga
Snom drawing us down, Hashem, Wahoo, Estem, Estem, Star,